Hello everyone, welcome to Math 241 for Spring 2019. This class is called Technology for Teaching Mathematics. It's Math 241 and it's only open to single subject majors and liberal studies majors with an emphasis in mathematics. I say that because most semesters we get one or two math majors who are interested in taking this class, possibly because they want to teach. Unfortunately, you will not receive credit for the class unless you are a single subject major or liberal studies major. This is the first time this class has been taught online, so might be a little bit rough at times, but I'm trying my very hardest to make it as organized as possible. It is just one unit, and therefore it will be 6 weeks. It officially starts Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019, and will end on March 13th, 2019. You can assume that new class videos will be posted each Wednesday morning, and assignments will be due the Tuesday evenings before each at midnight. All right, so a few prefatory comments. Let's be honest here. You're only taking this course because it's required. I get that. And secondly, who takes an online course seriously, right? I mean, the minute you say, oh, it's a one-unit online course, people are probably going to dismiss this as, oh, it's no big deal. But I really do take it as a big deal, and I really feel as though if we're going to work on this, I'd really appreciate your most dedicated effort. Also, it's also the case that it's widely known if you complete assignments, you're going to get an easy A in the class. But what I've heard from students is, although they thought that they would blow it off, they ended up really enjoying it and getting hooked, especially on Desmos and technology more generally. So most students in the class feel that, at least at first, unsure about their math abilities, and some people are not even sure if they want to go into teaching, and then they're not sure about technology. So the first 3 classes tend to be very awkward, people feel unsure, and this is when the class is done in person. So I'm sort of saying that I'm trying as hard as I can to walk you through how we can use technology, but I need you to work with me here. So I want to set up some expectation and norms for engagement. Basically, in an online class, that means if I ask you to make a post on the discussion board, you do so and you really think about what you're posting, not just doing it as quick as you can to get it over with. I'm going to be as clear as I can about my hopes and expectations for each assignment. I try to make every assignment have exactly 1 point for each of the requirements. Also, I'm going to be as clear as I can about when the assignments are due, how the assignments are due, and the due dates have to be reinforced because otherwise grading becomes a nightmare and also people start falling behind. So try your very best just for 6 weeks to stay with us. And any course is only as good as the students in it, which means I can't really have a great class if I feel as though I'm always pulling people to do stuff. So just open your mind for 6 weeks and say, okay, I'm going to do this. It's not hard and it could be a lot of fun. All right, so what is this course about? What does it mean to teach with technology? So think about 3 interconnected circles in a Venn diagram. What you have teaching, you have mathematics is the subject that we're teaching, pedagogy is the science of how to teach, and obviously technology is the tool that we're using. So on the one hand, you could think of the intersection of math and teaching as understanding mathematics at a level that's deeper than just procedures. If a teacher is asked a question like, why does that procedure work? And he or she doesn't know, that's not going to be strong teaching. What you want is to have confidence to say, the reason that algorithm works is because blah. Or even more importantly, you have a way to understand something at a deep enough level that you can understand how a student might be thinking. All right, now, thinking about the intersection of mathematics and technology, you have to have the habit of mind to use technology to pursue your own questions. So for example, the other day I was talking with my son about whether it's better to buy something that's 50% off and then an additional 20%, or whether it's better to have 20% off and then an additional 50%. And so we use technology to model those different scenarios to figure out which one was best. Now let's think of this third section down here, the intersection of technology and pedagogy. That's using technology to teach effectively. So for example, if you are teaching in a classroom, you might want to use Desmos to graph an equation so that provides a new insight. The first assignment that we're going to do actually involves just that, just making a quick graph with Desmos using parameters, which is one of the strongest features of that cool little program. And then at the heart of the intersection of all three of them is TPACK. That is technology, pedagogy, and content knowledge, in this case mathematics. You want to use technology to enhance pedagogy by striving for meaningful learning, and that heart should be up there, not down there. I must have moved the graphic and not moved my cool little heart, but you understand what I mean. This is the sweet spot. This is the intersection of all three of them. That's the identity of this course. All right, so let's look at student learning outcomes that's on the syllabus, and the syllabus is in Blackboard. So at the first thing is you're going to use the Desmos calculator. I look at that as the intersection of the technology and math in that Venn diagram. You want to explore domains, ranges, functions, and get a deeper conceptual knowledge of the ideas of covariation and quadratic maximization. We're going to be doing a couple of sketches where a graph is hooked to a slider so that you can see how the maximization actually occurs, both within the sketch and also the plot. Then we're going to use Desmos geometry. That's more at the intersection of technology and pedagogy, because one of the biggest reasons to use the geometry feature of Desmos is, teachers need to make tests, and you want to make a cool diagram so you don't have to say, oh, this diagram is not to scale. Is also helpful because if you make a problem, then you can check the answer. And finally, at the third level is we're going to use teacher.desmos.com, and that is right at the heart, that TPACK heart of the intersection of those three circles in the Venn diagram. You want to engage in discussions about how we use technology to teach math and how we can design not only just interesting lessons, but lessons that get at the conceptual ideas. Because just because you have a cool lesson doesn't mean it's going to work well. I have a great video of a cool lesson that didn't work well, and that's how you learn best, is when you see what could be improved. So the course organization. Each week, you'll see a new set of videos. And if you go on Blackboard, you will see, I'll show you in a minute, but there's 6 weeks. And within each week folder, you'll see video folder and then an assignments folder. And in the assignments folder, you will either have a discussion board or you will have a Desmos activity that you need to upload. Here's an overview look at our Blackboard site. As you can see, it opens in the announcements page, and over here is course documents. That's the one that we're going to be using the most. We're going to go here to course documents. I'm going to click on that. And what you see is the 6 weeks are already outlined with folders. And if you click on week 1, you'll see that there's week 1 videos and week 1 assignments. You can use the breadcrumbs trail back here to go back to where we were. And that's the same with week 2. We have video for week 2 and assignments for week 2. So everything is really just contained in the course documents. That's how we want to grade things, except the discussion board. The discussion board is also going to be available here. So for example, on week 1, you have an assignment here. So I'm going to click on the assignments, and when you can see that here's a discussion board assignment, you click here and you'll go to the discussion board. You'll click here and you'll go to the discussion board. There's going to be 2 discussion boards in week 1, and then the assignment, which I will talk about in the next video. All right, so what courses are we going to go over? Basically, in week 1 is going to be an introduction to the course. You have an overview video, that's what you're watching right now. Then you have a video with Dan Myers, and you're going to begin using the graphing calculator. Week 2, I've changed this now from before. Week 2, I want you to get really excited about Desmos right away. As I said, sometimes the class goes slowly because people think, well, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. This is hard. So I want to play right up front so that you guys say, oh, this is really cool. I'm excited to use this when I teach. So we're going to be playing some math games with Desmos in week 2. Then in week 3 and 4, well, actually 3, we're going to be using the algebra tool. And then in week 4 and probably 5, we're going to be using the geometry tool. And then in week 6, you're going to create a Desmos lesson. So that's basically how it's going to work. All right, how do I get graded? So your assignments are due each Tuesday evening at midnight through Blackboard. Everything will be submitted through Blackboard. If you have a discussion, you know, everybody can't just post late on Sunday night, on Tuesday night. So original posts will be due on Sundays and replies will be due by Tuesday evenings. So that way you'll have something to reply to. So all assignments have clear expectations. If these are met, full credit is given. Missing or incorrect points are deducted from the score. I do not want to accept late homework unless there's absolutely no other alternative, but you will get marked down half credit. All right. So, as I said, first there's an introduction to the course. That's this one. Video 2 is a quick tour of Desmos, and I'm going to show you a little bit about graphing. And so your homework is first, discussion board 1 is a getting to know you post. You'll see that when you go to the assignments folder. And then discussion board 2, I want you to watch a video of a professional development workshop with Dan Myers. He's one of the founders of Desmos. He explains a little bit about how Desmos got started and what its goals are. I would like you to post one reaction to that video by Sunday, January 27th at midnight, and respond to someone else's post by Tuesday, 1/29. And then the third homework assignment is to use the Desmos graphing calculator to graph a basic function with a slider and embed this in Blackboard. I will give you a better description of that in video 2.